Yeah, so Jay told me to start. Hi guys, you guys are doing well. So what we are planning to cover today is something around growth hacks. Growth hacks is something which has been a lot of buzzword around since last one decade, and this has always been like one of the hottest topic out there. You can find a lot of books around it, and this has been around buzz around whole Silicon Valley to India, and so I thought to plan out like a few pointers to someone who is starting around with growth hacking and learning growth marketing. So let's start with it. Before starting, I just want to tell like little bit about me, what I do. Currently I head the growth at Work Network. Work Network is a company which is at its pre-launch stage. We are planning to launch the company around 1st of May, and we are a team of 5 guys working out of WeWork Lab and planning to build the next future of work, which we believe. And I can say like what we are building is with a mission to create a platform that enables individual to build and run the company or services while growing their professional and business network. Why we are planning to build a work network is we saw there is a gap between community marketplace, and that is the reason help us to build this community marketplace out, which will enable startups, SMEs, and individuals to discover, opt in, and provide professional marketing services. It's not just only providing services. It will also help you being part of a growing community of business and professionals, sharing, learning, and building your network together. That is the mere reason behind building Work Network. And we strongly believe that all across the world we can do more when we are together, and that is the reason we are building it. I'll cover a little more about the platform, maybe some insights around it at the last. But few learnings that I have learned in last 3 years in the startup ecosystem. Previous to Work Network, I was working with company like Byju's and Skillenza, and there have been few observation around the startups, and I have learned few things which I believe will help others if I share across. Few people tell like you shouldn't share your secret when it's coming around growth and something around marketing, because there are always small tricks, tips, and hacks out there. But I believe whenever we are sharing, we are not just enabling the ecosystem, we are rather building together and growing together. So starting with Adam Nash quote, growth is important and all companies take it seriously. I just added the individual part because I believe growth is important. When all the individuals take that damn seriously, they will be able to grow themselves and also the company out there. So it's always near together, and the growth is not something you can individually do. It's always a collective and collaborative effort. So there are a few pointers that we will be covering today, like basics around what is growth hacking, who is a growth hacker, and so on. So I have tried to accumulate to this pointers, and we'll come to why this concept of 0 to 1, and how we are going to achieve it as individuals. So first, there has always been, like I told earlier, there has always been a lot of buzzwords. What is growth hacking? So are you a growth hacker? Have you grown users, or have you grown your revenue? There have always been these kind of dilemmas out there, from Silicon Valley to the Indian startup ecosystem. There have always been the buzzword around growth hacking, and peer like if you go across to any networking session, there are also a lot of communities out there, those who promote growth hack. So you will always find this peer commonality, or you can say like-mindedness like-mindedness among the people, where you will be able to see that uh, they all are passionate. That is what drives them to learn anything and everything. So coming to what is growth hacking, I believe like this is just a mixture of engineering and marketing. It's not just something which is just marketing or just engineering. You have to collaborate both of them to understand uh, real value of growth hacking, because marketing is something which is with lot of experimentation, and engineering is something which is automation. So when you mix both of them together, there come the success ratio of growth hack. Who is a growth hacker? So people will ask like, who are these growth hackers, what they do, what do they look like? So these are common things. I believe someone with characteristic like who is geeky by nature, who is innovative and creative, who calls himself an inventor, and who is absolutely a mad guy. Mad guy means like someone who is there out there to do anything and everything possible to get that particular thing done. So geekiness is something which will attract not only the innovativeness in you, also getting things in small amount of time. That is what will help you, because being geeky is what we can call is you are able to solve things in a fraction of time, because time is a very big factor when it comes around solving or coming to any solution. And yes, inventing should be your key recipe while growth hacking, because if you're not an inventor, you will not be creative enough with your ideas, and that will lead to maybe some amazing automation, maybe some amazing dedication, but you won't be able to have that wow factor or that ah moment to share across. And being a madman is the you can say icing on everything, because if you are mad, you are hungry, and you have that courage inside you to go and do whatever comes, whatever it takes to do, then definitely you are able to mix all of this characteristic to run your initiative and campaign, and be able to achieve your goals. What are the skills required for growth hacking? Like I told, these are the characteristics which should be there inside someone. This is like these characteristics are not just they cannot be adopted. It's like built across over time, but few skills can be adopted because that is what, like, if I am a mad guy with a lot of creativeness, but I'm not aware of the tools and I'm not able to build it. So that is the skill that I should improve on. So I'll categorize again that to the same scenario where you should be, when you are good at marketing, or understanding how to market a particular product. You should understand the psychology of customer behind that, and you should be able to market it uh, according to the need of those customers. Similarly, data and experimentation is a part of growth hacking, because you have to analyze a lot of data coming to you, lot of data points that you are gathering through your marketing campaigns. If you're not able to have those data points, you'll not be able to experiment all the time. So you need to understand this data point very deeply and very thoroughly. Then only you can understand like what should we market at what point of time, what is working, what is not working, and if it is not working, why it is not working. Is the product having a bad UX? Is the product having we are in the wrong market, or is there not a need for it? So you have to understand these metrics as well. And similarly, you have to innovate your campaigns, because all the time you cannot run your campaigns manually with human resource. Because if you're adding people, that means you can, if you're growing your to be very exact, if you're growing your marketing team or sales team, that means you are not automating things. You have to automate things. You have to automate your entire marketing campaign. That is how you will be able to scale your product and acquire user in a long run quickly and also thoroughly. Like I said, growth marketers are fearlessly creative, willing to measure everything and be able to admit the failures. Because if you're not able to admit that this is what not working, then you will not ever understand that the value of running that particular thing and getting it right. So always have the madness inside you, get shit done, but never say that it's done. So you have to be a growth marketer who is fearless and have all the passion to get the things done. Uh, so few of like all around, like when we come to mostly in India startup ecosystem, growth hacking is everyone say it's just a fancy name. Uh, it's like same as marketing, I believe. It's just fancy. uh, what do you think? Am I right? Like it's fancy or not? But the truth is, it's not the same. Marketing and growth is something absolutely different. Marketing is something which is about reaching out to people, acquiring them. That is called marketing. Marketing is something letting people aware of your product, aware of your existence in the market, and or exciting them to be your users. That is what is like the, you can say, the real KPIs of a marketer. But when it comes to growth, it's the entire funnel. It's not about just reaching out to people or just acquiring user. It's also around activating them to your product, getting them reviewed, taking the feedback, what features are working inside your product, what is not working. So and also analyzing at each page to page inside your product, that where are the dropouts, why this dropout is happening, and also able to retain them. Then only you can be able to make them happy so they can refer to their friends, or they can pay money to your product, and you can have revenue for your company. So growth, I truly believe the most important metrics that we can take around growth is retention, because retention, without retention, it's not growth. Like growth without retention is not just growth. It's just marketing. Marketers will still be focused on the best ways to get customer interested in their product, but what we will change is how they go about doing it. So this traditional marketing of billboards, flyers, this will always be there outside. Like this is not going to change anytime soon. You are always you'll always have that marketing team who is going to run campaigns around billboards and press ads. That will always remain. That's not going to change continuously, like any, like very fast. But what will happen is the way they are doing it will definitely change, and the new term of like thinking the way the company like Facebook, Dropbox, and Uber did in the early days will become the norm. That's not very far. That will definitely become the norm when it is there to grow. So this is something I came up with just to let you know, like how these companies were able to hack their way to become big companies. So if you can like I already know like YouTube chat is having the little late. Well, there is some problem, like it might take 5 minutes late, but anytime, like if you can guess this company, so this company is Hotmail. So what they did is they did around their content. For them, it was content creativity hack. We can call it as the Hotmail way. What they did around in 1996 was that was a story. I took that from a book called Viral Look. That is an amazing book. You can go and watch around it, like read it or have the audiobook and go through it. So what was there, like it was a meeting with Team Draper, who is one of the well-known VC out there in the Silicon Valley ecosystem, and he is been there since a long time. He runs his fund called Draper Associates, and this was the time in 1996 when the founders of Hotmail went to team and they told like, this is Hotmail and this is what we are doing. We have a mail, and this can change the communication around here in Valley. So what team asked them was how you are going to reach out to people. What is the way you are planning to reach out to as many people out there? So they came up with the similar traditional answers of marketing which were existing that time. They told like we'll do some big hoardings, some big boards we'll put out, and maybe do some radio ads which will help us reach out to more and more amount of radio users, because that is the time where radio was kind of a hit. So this is what they told, but Tim came up with the hack. So this is the content creativity which Mr. Draper came ahead. He told, "Can you just put in like a a, a, a content of particular line across all the tech users out there? Somehow you can hack to reach out to as many people as possible." And this particular content was PS, get your free email at Hotmail. So why he came up with this particular is because that is the time like PS I Love You was a movie which was a hit in US, and everyone was in a that aura of PS I Love You. And similarly, he told like PS get your free email at Hotmail, and that is the reason why Hotmail was acquired with $500 million valuation by Microsoft, because of the simple hack that Draper gave on that table and in that particular day. So the next thing they did is this was a kind of a norm across in the tech ecosystem out there, which was at very nurturing stage. It was kind of like get your free email at Hotmail was kind of uh, it was kind of a viral. Like it went to each and everyone. Everyone was sending across. So you can see like in they were able to reach to 1 million users in 6 months, 2 million users in 8 months, 12 million users in 18 months. In 30 months, the company was acquired with a $500 million dollar valuation to Microsoft. So this is called content creativity hack. You should have your content game as strong as possible, because if you are able to reach out to the real user, you need to understand the content and you need to understand the need, time, and the virality movement, and what is around in the market at that particular amount of time. So that was the Hotmail story. That is how the I say this as the Hotmail way. Still, like few other companies are using this kind of method. Gmail came with a better product. They had this content game more stronger. They were able to send not only content, but also they carried away with a waitlist kind of a structure where they were able to keep lot of user waiting to have access to that particular product. So that is how Gmail went viral, and they are what we use every day. Like we all have a Gmail ID. It's like just a passport or an Aadhaar card. So uh, that was the virality, and definitely that was the content game which helped them to go viral. So this is the next company. If I ask, like, if you can recognize this company, this is a very well-known company. Most of you will be able to guess this. This is Dropbox. So what what did they do? It's like their case study is something which is amazing. I should agree. Like each and everyone who is in their early stage of starting or are new to marketing or are still in your college or school, but you are planning to have a career around product growth and marketing. So you should you should and you must read the initial days and story of how Dropbox did it. So I call it the integrate and discovery way. So you can also call this as the Dropbox way, the Dropbox way of hacking things. And what they were able to do is they were able to gamify the space need out there in the ecosystem. So sorry for this blurred image. This presentation was made very quick. So this is what it is like. The discovery effect was there. So what they did is they gamified some states, like they had actionable thing where you go, you take the entire tour of their particular product, install Dropbox in your computer, have some file of Dropbox folder, install Dropbox on the app, install their app. So these are like few steps. If you are able to complete it, they will be able to give you 250 MB. So that is the time I'm talking about. It's around 2008 and 9. That time, like getting space was not as easy as we have right now with Google Drives and all. Like that is the time where space was something which was inside your computer or pen drive, and pen drives were in trend at that amount of time. So that's the reason Scandic become very big at that era. That is the time space was. It's not like it was not something which was easily available to each and everyone. You may be a big guy, you may be a big CEO of any company, or maybe a VC around there, or maybe just a college student. Space was something we all required because inside computer we will have limited space. So this idea went. This doesn't. This did not just went viral. It was like the big virality out there. You can say like they were able to the number of users they were able to acquire is like the highest among any platform those who have done in short span of time, apart from at later stage Instagram and Snapchat were also able to draw hacks, something around photo sharing. But space was something which was a moment for them, giving us free space to people, and then letting them become your users, and then having a subscription model on top of that. That is what was a great revenue plan for Dropbox. And that's how like at right now if you ask me, Dropbox is having more than 500 million users, and you won't believe they have 13 million plus user paying for their service. So this is what it is like. This is how it becomes the Dropbox way of hacking things. I call it the discovery or the integration way. They integrated a gamification which was able to help them, and lot of people were able to tweet. So the big CEOs were able to tweet, I got my free space in Dropbox. So that helped them to market the product very well. That was kind itself was influencing and was reaching out to lot and lot amount of people. And that is how Dropbox became Dropbox. Email hacks. This is something which has like this is something which we all are aware, but I'm not sure we might be aware or not. But still, you might be using Facebook and Twitter. The reason why I was not able to play this game of recognizing logos, because if I would have dropped this particular slide, all people would have answered that this is Facebook and Twitter because of their brand presence and everyone knows them. Like almost all of us are having a Facebook or a Twitter account. So email hacks was the key ingredient for Facebook to be Facebook, and definitely Twitter to be Twitter. But Facebook took it in a very serious way. So if you remember your early days, like I'm not aware when you created your Facebook account, but I created my account in 2009. So that was like way back. Like Facebook was just 5 to 6 years old. So from 2009 and 10, I'm using Facebook. So what was there initially was, if you guys can recall, there was something you sign up, then you go inside, then there pops up a particular list of people you can send invitation. So they were able to restrict to 50, then maybe to 100. They were putting restriction, but you can also have, they were also later stage they added one option, you can invite all. So that was like the Facebook motto of reaching out to people. They had a simple slogan, connecting people. So they wanted to have you connect with your particular network. So how they did is they were able to took your location, and similarly they were able to find all the guys out there through your, whoever was having an email, they were able to find them out. And those people, once they signed in, they were able to connect, they were able to invite people, they were able to refer people. But that's not it. That was just the initial stage, but that is not what made Facebook what is the giant Facebook today is. What made it Facebook is because of the email hack they did. So if you go to every single platform out there, I believe almost all the platform might be having a Facebook integration. So that is the email hack out. Uh, you might understand it, but whenever you are able to sign up or sign in through your Facebook, the email is there with Facebook, and the mere thing about it was they were able to brand it, because Facebook becomes so easy that every single platform or every single product coming out there, they needed to have authentication, and they were uh, they really wanted to have the users from have the user flow very easy for the user who are already the Facebook users. That's the reason Facebook did this email hack and was able to become what they are today. Similarly, Twitter was having initially they were not having tweets. They just had tweets, but they were not. That doesn't look like the way it looked like today. They were also using emails. Emails were something they were targeting, and they were able to have their early adopters. So this is the era of social networking when they were just blooming in, and because of the right way of understanding to reaching out of people, and the need of making people get connected was something which went viral, and they were able to onboard lot and lot amount of users. So this is something most of you, like maybe 80 or 90% of you can guess it. But can you just recognize this icon? This icon is something which we use every day, um, or you may be using the Indian version of this particular icon. So we call it Uber, and obviously, Uber was something like their hack was one simple hack, giving things for free, and the free at that amount of time, like I'm talking about 2009 2010, Uber was doing every single ride from Austin South to Southeast for every single ride was free of cost. Why they chose that particular area? Because that was a tech hub, and most amount of tech journalists and people from New York Times, or everyone was having office out there, and travel and commute was something which was not easy back then. But that was like, it was not as easy as it is today just to book a Uber and go away. If you want a taxi, you need to go to a taxi store, or you need to go some to a taxi service center, and you have to talk to them and book a ride. But Uber came up with this, and they chose the, because they understood that their customer, initial customer or you can say the initial influencer will be someone who will be able to influence other people, and that is the reason they chose an area where there were a lot of journalists, lot of tech people out there, and they just, or maybe for more than a year, they were doing free rides. And this was the I call the free rides hack. This is the Uber way of hacking things. So they were able to like have lot and lot amount of users, and these users were so happy with the free rides. Like for example, if I give any of you a lift, you will definitely be happy. You are not able to spend a single bug. That's how the Uber become Uber, and this is how it went viral. It went big, and you know the rest. The rest of story, we all know how it becomes so big uh, because of few simple hacks that they did in early days. They were able to achieve that virality. Uh, yes, growth hacking isn't just about driving users; it's about providing value. So if you go through each and every case study that we had, or kind of hacks company were able to do in their early days, you'll be able to trace the value they were giving. Like Uber, it was able to give a value of a ride. Hotmail was able to give email access, which was like at that point of time, email was not something which was with everyone. Like those are the times of people using pagers. So email was something they were able to try. Dropbox gave them a free space. That was the value they were providing to their customers. So if you are providing a value and your customers are being benefited through it, then definitely your growth hacks and your way of hacking things will go ahead, and it will help you a lot. So I understand growth hacking is more of a mindset. It's not just about having some tricks or tips or understanding some case studies. Whatever this company did back then might not be relevant today, because you might use the way they did it, but that might not be applicable for your particular product, for your particular growth. So it is all about having a mindset. You have to understand your product, you have to understand your value that you are providing to the customers, and you have to understand, are your customer really benefiting through it? Is that really a need out there? If you crack that, then it's just a mindset, and it's just some campaigns that you need to do, or some promotion you need to do. A lot of people will ask question, what should I do to be a part of a company's growth team? Are there enough growth job opportunities in India? So these are few questions definitely will pop up to anyone mind who is going through this particular cast out here. So I'll answer the first one. Like uh, if you want to be a part of a growth team, you first need to be have your own personal growth. So understanding this is very key, because I believe that I believe like personal growth is something which is at most important at this point of time. Like we're talking about 2020. It's not 2010 or 2015. It's about 2020. You need to understand that you need to grow. If you are growing, people around you will grow. Company you're working for will grow. You need to understand your growth first, how you can do it. So these are few basic fundamentals and few basic principles that you, if you follow each and every day, day to day, and understand the value of it, then definitely you will be able to grow. Not just grow, you will be able to be a part of a growth team, and you will definitely be able to help that company to grow. So first is having a creative mindset. So creative mindset is something which is, we all are not gifted with creativity, to be very honest. I am not creative enough. I understand that, or else like this presentation would not been. I consider it as below than average. But yes, people are there who are great with presentations. They come up with great documents. They come up with great ideas. So that is creativity. So creativity is something you need to, if you're not having, you need to understand that you need to learn a lot to at least be creative enough. And as you can see, creativity, all these things are interlinked with each other. Like it's like not just one particular set, it's all together. So you need to understand that you need to have a creative mindset. If you are not creative enough, you can try to achieve that mindset. Second is training. Yeah, it comes. It is like you have to train. Like you not only you have to train yourself, you have to train your skills. You have to train what you are lagging behind with. You have to train even your body. Like for example, uh, we all are in a situation locked inside home. Are we training enough? Are we taking care of our body? Because if you take care of your health, definitely you will have a good mindset. If you're having a good mindset, you'll have creative thinking coming inside you. So you need to understand that training each day, not with whatever is out there, your skills, your thought, your process, and your body, your everything you need to train, because training is something which will which stays with you forever. If you train yourself each and every day with a lot of things, you are able to understand things in a deeper way. Then you need to have a vision. That is like something, if you're not having, like you need to understand that today I'm here, I need to achieve something after, maybe after 5 years. Don't think about 5 years, think about 5 days, or maybe what I'm going to do after this particular webinar, after maybe after 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I need to have a plan. I need to have a, you can say it, your eye or your head having a particular vision out there. So this vision will help you to achieve things, like that will motivate you to work towards it. And you need to develop. Training and development comes side by side. Once you're training, you need to also test yourself and see that, are you developing your skills? Are you developing your, if you're training your body, are you developing your muscles? This is what you need to understand. You need to develop each and every day. You need to have a planning. This is what comes with age. Like to be very honest, I'm chaotic by nature. I am not very well planned. But without a plan, it's not sustainable. You cannot, if you're not planning, you'll not be, that won't be sustaining enough. So you need to understand, you need to have a right plan, approach towards a particular thing. Learnings are something which we all lack. Like you might be a $1 billion CEO, you might be a very big shot, but you need to understand that learning is something which will go with you till your last breath. Like you will learn. I I shouldn't tell about it, but yes, you will learn the way how you died on after only your last breath. So learning is something which will is a part and partial. We should understand that we should have a mindset of learning each and every day, each and every moment. We can learn from anyone, everyone. That is how it will help us to grow. Being motivated, yeah, this is something most of college kids out there might struggle. They might be with their circle or might not be motivated enough to do things, like feel like lazy. Let's do it, the task tomorrow, or let's just have that, like that goes to your backlog. You need to understand that you need to be motivated. If you're not motivated enough, you cannot reach to the point you are planning to reach. So you need to be motivated enough to reach that particular goal out there. So goal is something which you should have, and I believe not to have a goal. To be very honest, few people will might contradict with it, don't have a goal, have rest all of the things out there, have your creative mindset, have train each and every day, have at least a plan and vision for few few years, develop your skills, keep learning, stay motivated. Goal is something which will come ahead with all the skills acquired together. Uh, yes, the other question was, are there enough growth job opportunities in India? To be very honest, the way the US culture is around growth, they have something, growth hacker as a job position out there. They have a growth marketers, they have a growth team. You can say particularly a growth team. In India, is we are still lagging behind. We don't have like exactly the roles defined when it comes to startup ecosystem, and because here we are able to do a lot of things out there. So, but I see these jobs to be similar. There are few companies those who hire product managers. Product manager is someone who might be having a growth mindset. I I'll not say it's exactly a growth role, but yes, he can be a part of a growth team. Growth hackers are obviously there. Right now, it's trend. Few people are understanding the value of having a growth hacker in a team, because it's end to end. You need to have the whole funnel. You need to have that whole funnel out there, the whole AAARRR funnel, like that needs to be out there. So you need to understand, to have growth hackers are a must for startups, growth marketers, community managers, community builders, growth influencers. These are kind of roles I'll just align with. And obviously, like right now, a lot of people are coming ahead with growth roles, and we really need it, because this is how we will grow together, and this is how we will be able to achieve what we are planning to achieve. So growth is something which we need to understand, and as I told, this is just a mindset. It's not nothing new, nothing. We all have that inside us. We just need to value that mindset and just keep nourishing and cherishing around it, and you'll grow. So it is at 0 point right now, something in India. Let's together take it to one. So that is what I believe is 0 to 1 of the story. We need to have more growth mindset out here in the country, in the ecosystem, because it will help us all to grow together. It will help our company to grow, to become something which we have always been lacked. Like Indian companies are copy paste, copycats. Let's build something which is like out there, and it's having like hundred, thousand of users. So this is just a mindset, and we need to understand that mindset. Like I told you earlier, I'll cover what we are planning to do with Work Network. As I say, this is the website that just a screenshot of the website. Obviously, we believe we can all do when we are together. So let's do more together. And this is our community chat page. Uh, we'll have like services. You can come and list your services out here. You can come and connect with investor, host and collaborate. You can have access to a dashboard. So these are few things which is there, and you can see post launch will give you access to the website and the application. You can see this is the application that we are building right now. We are planning to have groups, because we believe like inside, if you are a part of a group or a part of a cohort, you'll be able to network and have learn, share, chat, and have your acquiring your skills and growing together. So that's why the group concept is there, and this is how we are planning to build. There's something new, and something we believe that will help each and everyone out there, and we are planning for the launch. So just just few insights about Work Network. As I told, this launch will be on 1st of May. You can follow us on Twitter. It's One Work Network. Um, you can also follow us on LinkedIn. You can just search for Work Network, and you can get that. You can follow us on, or you can like our page on Facebook. And this is the link out there. If you want to have a early access to the platform, you can have this link. I'll share across on the chat as well. So you can fill the form, and we will reach out to you. We'll talk to you. That's how it is. uh, about me. Thank you for hearing this presentation. I tried to just tell you whatever I have learned in this few years. I'm very new to this ecosystem. I've been here for not more than 3 years. It's like you can say I've been here from 3 years. But yes, I was able to read and follow a lot of people when I was in college. So you can say my learning is on the Indian startup ecosystem, and the startup ecosystem as a whole is around for 5 years, but I'm into work for last 3 years. And this is how you can reach me out on Twitter. IMP Biswal is my handle. You can reach me. You can connect me over LinkedIn, and obviously you can whatever. Like, I'm always there to answer whatever is there. And if I don't know, I'll connect you with the right guy who can help you or answer whatever queries you have. So you can just use the hashtag AskPB, A in the capital, SK, and PB is capital again. So just use this handle AskPB, where you can ask any queries that you are having, and any question that you are having. So I believe, like, we might have more 5 minutes. So you 5 or 10 minutes, we can take few questions. And definitely you can on Twitter or LinkedIn just have this hashtag and ask me whatever you have. I'll try to answer. Thank you. Okay, so we have a question. The first question is of Vivan. Vivan is my teammate. So we work together. So he's asking me, how would you allocate your marketing budget in the early days of a startup? Which channels would you use? Definitely. So as I told, marketing is something which is more about experimentation. I'm also new to it. What I have understand, for few of channels really work. You need to understand what type of user you are reaching out. It depends from companies to company. For example, for like, I can tell about Work Network. What we are planning is, we want to reach out to people, those who are really looking out for services, because we really want to help SMEs, startups, because whenever you are starting, like, it becomes difficult for you to, like, in early days, you might be bootstrapping, you might have little fund with you. So you need to understand that budget is something which is all the time constraint. So you need to have services, good amount of services, like maybe a designer out there. You need to find out a right set of designer who can help you with your design, and who can help you provide or definitely build your logo. So for us, like, reaching out to few kind of user are uh, depending on the type of user we really want out to reach. Uh, for Work Network, we are already reaching out to lawyers, we are reaching out to accountants, we are reaching out to all the consultants out there. We are also reaching out to designers, we are reaching out to influencers. So we believe these are the services which are at most need, and they make value. So we are reaching out to those kind of users. The channels we are planning to use is definitely there are a lot of channels that we're using, but we are also confined with like we are hacking around lot with you may be understanding our competitors. We are able to find out and do analysis what kind of user are really liking the competitors. So we are able to track and create similar kind of profiles. We are also able to growth hack through social network, through our personal connect. Because at early stage, you need to tap into influencers. You need to tap into the guys who can tell about your product, who can uh, say and tell about your product out there. So we are tapping out to them. And similarly, the one more secret sauce I'll add is product hunt. Go and hack product hunt. That is what out there, because if you are able to hack product hunt, if you are able to find real users or maybe founders in product hunt, maybe the hunters out there, so they are the one who can influence and reach out to as many people as possible. I have been learning about this, and I have been understanding about it. So just go and hack it. That's very simple. uh, how would you, yeah, I'll cover to Vivans, how would you allocate your marketing budget. Marketing budget is something we need to understand that comes with time to time. It will change because for growth it's about minimal budget, how you can reach out to more users. That is the real motive behind every growth hacking or growth marketing. So but definitely it needs to have, like for example, if we are trying around with Google ads and that is not working, like we are not able to, so we can just stop that entire practice out of our particular campaign. We do not need to run Google ads anymore. So there are few experimentation, I believe I cannot be a more expert into marketing budget, but definitely someone out there can help. You can just type ask PV and you can just answer that. uh, I'll be also able to learn more. Abhishek Padhi, he's, I know him. He is asking, very difficult is understand what you are. Is it like multi-level marketing? I don't understand what he's asking. This is not something marketing. I'm not sure about multi-level marketing or EBs. I really don't know. So I'm not an expert on that, but definitely I can learn around it. Shrutik, how often would you change your target audience in early days of startups, keeping in mind of your growth chart? How often would you change your target audience? Yeah. So first is our whatever product we are building, we are already aware of our target audience. If you're not aware of your target audience and you're building something, that means you are in deep shit trouble, man. So we already are aware of the audience that we want to tap into. It's just that few audience might work or might not work. For example, if I can say about our case in work network, we are going horizontal. So what means horizontal marketplaces, we are planning to tap into a lot of categories. Definitely that is a challenge. Understanding it is a very difficult challenge, but getting to lot user is a big challenge. But we understand that few things might work, few things might not work, but it's just a matter of quick transitioning. If we see few user are not liking it, because uh, few things are built on assumptions. So if we understand that is not working out, definitely we'll change our strategies around it, or we'll drop down around it. Hmm. Any more questions? I believe if you have any more questions, you can drop down, or definitely you can have this hashtag AskPB, and you can drop down whatever question you are having. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for coming across and hearing. As I told, I'm also learning at a very learning stage, and I'll thank Script Foundation for dropping by and telling me to have this session out here. And I believe it might have helped few of you. I'm planning to drop down a blog around this, maybe sometime around next week, and you can have that posted through Script Foundation as well. And yes, if you're having any queries, you can put this hashtag as ask PB, and I'll be able to take that offline and answer you. Thank you so much.